Welcome to Tattletale. Here's today's story. I was the only one who heard the alarm. No one believed it was real. It started 3 weeks ago, exactly at 2:31 a.m. The alarm wasn't coming from my phone. Not from the smoke detector, either. It was sharper, cleaner, high-pitched, constant. Not pulsing, just on. I sat up in bed, heart already racing like my body knew something was wrong before my brain caught up. I grabbed my phone. No notifications, no emergency alert, no timer. Just the time, 2:31 a.m. The sound filled my whole apartment, like it was coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. I checked the hallway, the kitchen, my laptop. I even unplugged the Wi-Fi router. Nothing stopped it. And then, when I opened the front door, it stopped, like it had never been there. I stood in the hall, half-dressed and confused. No other doors opened. No one else poked their head out. Just silence. Not even the hum of other people's TVs or fridge motors. Too quiet. I chalked it up to exhaustion. Maybe a dream. I'd had a rough week. Long shifts. Too much caffeine. I figured I'd just imagined it. Some kind of audio hallucination. Happens, right? But then it happened again the next night. 2:31 a.m. Same alarm. Same volume. Same abrupt stop when I opened the door. Only this time, I recorded it. I hit voice memos the second I heard it. My hand was shaking. And when I listened back, it was there. Clear as day. A solid, digital tone. Like a hospital monitor stuck on one note. Crisp. Undeniable. But when I played it for my coworker the next day, static. That's all it was. Static. She laughed. You probably hit record too late, she said. Or maybe your phone glitched. But it didn't. I heard it. And I think whatever made that sound knew I tried to record it. Because the third night, it didn't stop when I opened the door. It got louder. The third night, I didn't sleep. I sat in bed staring at the clock, waiting for 2:31 a.m. like something was about to breach the walls of my life. And when it hit, right on time, it didn't build. It was instant. 1 second of silence, then the same piercing tone, but louder this time, like it had gotten closer. I didn't hesitate. I threw on a hoodie, grabbed my phone, and stepped out into the hall. But the sound didn't stop. It never did that before. I stood there, half expecting someone else to open a door. No one did. I knocked on the neighbors across from me. Nothing. I pressed my ear to their door. No movement. No TV. The sound kept rising. Barely, but enough to make my teeth itch. And that's when I noticed something. The hallway looked wrong. Not obviously. Not like the walls were melting or anything. Just slightly, subtly off. The light above apartment 4B was flickering, but I remembered it had been replaced last week. The security camera near the stairwell was missing its little blinking LED. And halfway down the hall, past apartment 6A, there was a door. One I'd never seen before. Black. No number. No handle. Just there. Like it had always been part of the building, and I'd simply never noticed. The alarm was coming from behind it. That much I knew. I approached slowly. The closer I got, the more my phone started glitching. The screen flickered. The flashlight cut in and out. I tried to record again, but the voice memo app froze. The sound was unbearable now, like it wasn't even sound anymore, just pressure. And then the door did something I still don't understand. It pulsed. Not opened. Not moved. It pulsed. Like something behind it had taken a breath. I reached out. Touched it. It was cold. Ice cold. And it was vibrating, faintly, like a humming machine beneath the surface. Then the alarm stopped. Not faded, stopped. Instant silence. And behind the door, I heard a new sound. A mechanical voice. Flat. Distant. Like it was underwater. It said, Cycle 197 complete. Awaiting subject readiness. Then nothing. The door vanished. Not swung shut. Not blinked out. I blinked, just once, and it was gone. And I was standing alone in the hallway with my hand outstretched to empty space. I didn't go back to sleep after that. I just sat at the kitchen table with every light on, phone on the counter, staring at the hallway like the door might reappear if I blinked too long. It didn't. I didn't tell anyone about what the voice said. Not this Cycle 197 part. Not the subject readiness. Because how do you even explain that? Hey, weird question, but does your apartment have a disappearing door that breathes? Exactly. But something changed after that night. Not outside, inside. I started noticing things. Subtle at first. My coffee mug was in the sink when I remembered leaving it on the desk. My keys were turned teeth up on the hook when I always hang them teeth down. Then it got weirder. I'd walk into a room and feel like I'd just been in it already. Like there was a version of me that had stood in that exact spot, done that exact motion, just seconds before I got there. Deja vu, but deeper, physical, lingering. Then I checked my phone's step tracker. It said I'd walked 2.3 miles around the block between 2 and 3 a.m. But I hadn't left my apartment. I checked the door cam I'd installed a month ago, the one that sends clips to my cloud. Nothing. No movement. Just static between 2:29 and 3:02 a.m. I stared at the blank clip for a long time. And then, at the very end of the video, just one frame before it cut off, something flickered. A shadow. Not mine. It was facing the camera. Head tilted. Like it was watching me. I paused the clip, backed it up, frame by frame. The shadow was wearing my hoodie. But it wasn't me. The arms were too long. The neck bent wrong. The face, blurry, like the lens didn't know how to capture it. I deleted the clip. I didn't even think. My fingers just moved. And immediately, I regretted it. Because now I didn't have proof. Just one sentence burned into my memory. Cycle 197 complete. Awaiting subject readiness. I started to wonder, had I been in that hallway before? Had I gone through the door and just forgotten? I started testing myself. Little things at first. Left a book on the floor and snapped a photo of it. Drew a chalk mark on the inside of my closet. Wrote the date on my bathroom mirror with a dry erase marker. If something was messing with me, resetting things, changing things, I needed proof. The first night, nothing changed. Second night, same. But the third? The book was gone. The chalk was smeared into a spiral. And the mirror didn't say the date anymore. It said, "Ready yet?" That was the moment I stopped pretending this was some kind of stress hallucination. I started sleeping with the lights on. Ate only food I could prepare and seal. I even started filming myself while I slept. Not out of paranoia, but because I knew something wasn't waiting for permission anymore. The footage always glitched. Between 2:29 and 2:34 a.m. every single night. 5-minute blackout. Clock frozen. Sound silent. And when I'd wake up, things would feel reloaded. Like the apartment had been closed and reopened. A save file loaded slightly wrong. The most disturbing part wasn't the changes, it was the consistency. The alarm always came at 2:31 a.m. Always the same tone, the same volume, the same breathless pressure behind it. It felt like a signal. Like something just out of reach was watching me to see if I'd do the same thing again, or finally do something different. Then, on the 5th night, the alarm changed. It didn't start with the tone. It started with a voice. Faint, direct, no distortion. Subject has deviated. The tone didn't come after. The door did, right in the same spot. Same matte black surface. No handle. But this time it was already open, just a crack. Just enough to see the edge of something that shouldn't have had edges. Not darkness, not light, just a shape waiting beyond visibility. I reached for it, and then something grabbed my wrist from behind. I spun, heart slamming. No one there, but on my arm, just below the sleeve, were 4 perfect fingerprints. Cold to the touch, like they'd been pressed there just moments before. The door was still open, waiting. I didn't step through. Not that night. Not yet. I closed the door. Or at least, I tried to. The moment I touched it, the material changed. It should have been solid, but it bent under my fingers, like memory foam and static. I pressed harder and the surface rippled outward, like I'd touched water, not wood. And then the door was just gone again. I stood there for a long time, breathing too fast, wrists still cold from the invisible grip. It hadn't left a bruise, but I could still feel the pressure, like the memory of being held lingered in the muscle. I should have left. Should have packed a bag and gotten as far away as possible. But where do you go when it's not the place that's broken? It's you. That night, I slept on the couch with the camera on again. But this time, I set up 2, one facing the door, the other on me. I synced the time codes. I needed to know exactly what was happening during the blackout window. At 2:31 a.m., the alarm hit. But softer this time. Almost like it wasn't sounding for me anymore, but at me. Like a prompt. Or a call. I didn't move. I let it play. When I woke up around 4, both cameras were off. Batteries full. Storage cards untouched. I played the footage. The first half was normal. Me, tossing in my sleep. Door closed. Time ticking. Then the glitch hit. The audio dropped to silence. Timecode froze. But the door? The one I thought had vanished. It was open, and I was standing in front of it. Not sleepwalking. Not dragging myself like a zombie. Standing. Still. Alert. Just staring into it like I was listening.